The subject of Monte's speech is social injustice and three little pigs. Speech number 2, Monte Koerner.
My speech is going to focus on the economic and social injustice and how they conspire to keep the poor in poverty. That isn't the most critical point. What really comes down to is the choices and the motivation of those individuals to maintain them in poverty. We've been taught as children that we must be fair. In fact, the New York State Teachers Union has organized a lesson plan around what is social justice. They take the story of the three little pigs and they ask the children, how do you feel if no one thought the big bad wolf was bad? That is to help them understand the feelings of what injustice is. So they take those feelings and interpret that as unfairness. Most of us consider poverty, absolute poverty, as not having the amount of clothing, food, or shelter to maintain life. That differs than what people are actually considering poverty when they're creating social programs. They're looking at more what they're considering relative poverty. This is a distinction between the lower class of people to the higher class of people, and constituting that as an injustice. The reason why they look at it that is the lower injustice, the people in the lower caste do not have the same doors that are open to them in the higher caste. The intent is to bring that to a medium so that everyone is equal and having that type of fairness. I'm going to present some statistics that go with relative fairness or relative poverty. Of the people that are considered under poverty right now, 43% of them own a home. 73% own a vehicle. 33% of those own 2 or more. 80% own air conditioning. 97 have televisions. More than 50% of them have more than one television, including the large screen. 66% have a cable or satellite subscription, and 33% of them have computers. While these numbers do not suggest a life of luxury, they are notably different from the conventional idea of what we consider poverty. So going to the aspect of what makes them in that category, how do they move from that lower caste to that upper class? It comes back to the decisions that they have made. If they take that cable and satellite subscription, it's an easy one to pick out and say that I'm not going to do that. Averaging about $50 a month over 12 months, that's $600. $600 over 3 years, $1,800. That could be used towards education to help them move up into the categories of having a higher paid job. A lot of the social programs will focus on subscribing money to them, investing in them. However, that intrinsic motivation of giving them that money only motivates them to the point where they start to expect it. If it creates that expectation that I'm getting the minimum out of it. What we want to try and instill these people that are in that lower poverty area is the intrinsic or the internal motivation to change. We want them to want to do this, want them to overcome those obstacles that are in front of them so that they say, I don't care if you're telling me I can't do it. I know I can. I will find a way around it. I will be proactive and motivating myself past it. So, going back to our 3 little pig story, we noticed that the first little pig made a house of 6. It was his choice. The second little pig made the choice of making the house of sticks. The third little pig chose the house of bricks, which of course ties the moral that hard work gets you to what you need. A lot of people don't understand that the big bad wolf is the villain, and that big bad wolf should be the person that's taken into account for the damage they've done. We noticed that the house of bricks took in the 2 other pigs, saying that I understand you're in absolute poverty and help them through it. We hope that the 2 other pigs did learn from the circumstances and then decided to do the house of bricks after that. But no one blames the pig in the house of bricks as being the cause of the problem with the house of sticks and straw. That concludes my speech.